Alrighty, traders, well, welcome back with another video with the FX Big Dog, and yes, we're going to be looking at the weekly market outlook. Yep, it's called the Forex Weekly Market Outlook. I got to say all that stuff. Now, listen here. In this video, what we do is we take a look at the details with regards to technical analysis and fundamentals. So the fundamentals are going to help us to be able to determine what the markets are doing this week and how much volume we'll be able to push into any currency, but also the technicals are going to be able to tell us how to be able to trade it. So we're going to take all of that information, put it together, and see if we've got any trading opportunities. Hey, listen here. Also, don't forget, we're also going to be talking about the pound Canadian. I spoke about it on Friday, and I said look on Sunday for a trading opportunity on pound Canadian. Also, Euro Aussie dollar. That trade prediction is not dead yet. We still got some great opportunities that we're just going to be patient about. We'll talk all about that right after this. See you in a bit. Alrighty, traders, I have to remind you, if you've forgotten or you didn't watch this weekend, I have to remind you that the Eagles took another win this weekend. Woo! Fly, Eagles, fly. Alright, now back to the markets. Just want to throw that out there. Back to the markets. Alright, so we're going to take a look and see what's going on with the markets. We said we we're going to talk about the Canadian, the pound Canadian. We spoke about a trade setup on the pound Canadian. We're still active on that trade. We've also been waiting for an opportunity on the Euro Aussie dollar. Remember the trade prediction? 2,700 pip opportunity. It's still alive, and we still need to pay attention to the market. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But before that, let's go ahead and dig into the fundamentals so we can go ahead and see what's going to move the market this week, and then we can go into those currency pairs and take a look and see what's going on. So straight to the chart. In fact, my bad. Straight to the calendar. That's first thing. So on the calendar, we've got some data coming out this week. And it's more just like speeches and a bit of oil data coming out. We got the FOMC minutes, I believe, on Wednesday. Would probably be key at 2 p.m. The reason why, traders, is because they'll be looking to see whether or not they are going to drop the rates another 25 basis points. Based on where we are right now, they are talking about the U.S. economy going into a little recession. They're trying to avoid that. And in order for them to avoid the U.S. going into a recession, they got to go ahead and continue to drop and cut rates. Also, the fact that we haven't got the China and the US and China trade agreement in place yet, this is creating a lot of pressure on the US as well. Also, you can see right here, we got some data coming out this week on the pound. I don't think it's too popular because it's the monthly data. It's a GDP coming out. GDP is a good number to look out for when we get to to talk about fundamentals. But this is monthly data. I'm not too excited about GDP numbers coming out this week for the pound. As we go further into the week, we do have Bank of England Governor Coney that speaks. Again, with Brexit heading towards the end of the month, any sort of chit-chat on the UK, there's going to be a lot of focus. Is there going to be any chatter about what's going on with Brexit? So check out for this. We may get some volatility in the pounds towards the latter part of the week. Then as we head further down south, you can see right here, all the way down south, we've got the employment change and unemployment rate for the Canadians. So traders, we absolutely go ahead and pay attention to what's happening with the Canadian crosses and see how the markets are moving the Canadian crosses. Now, I'm going to, when I look at the data, I want to go ahead and do this. And when I look at the charts, actually. When I look at the charts, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the charts like I'm a system trader, right? I'm going to trade it systematically. There's no going to be no emotions. There's not going to be any sort of like, well, let me guess what's going on. No, trade it systematically, right? You've got to be like systematically, because you want to be able to look at the chart and know exactly what you want to do every single time. You shouldn't be in a position where you have to start playing the guessing game. It should be pretty easy and pretty simple. Now, traders, I want to also say this. The way I trade and the way I go ahead and look for entries and stops and all that good stuff, that may not be your type of trading style, and that's okay. Everyone has a trading style that they'd like to go ahead and gravitate towards. Maybe there's something that you're excited about that you want to continue to follow based on a short-term trading opportunity. But the most important thing, I think we all are going to be on the same page, right? And then that is turning points, directional bias based on larger time frames. I think we all need to understand how the markets are moving in the long term to be able to determine what the short term is going to do for us as we look for trading opportunities. So with that being said, let's focus in on what's going on the larger picture, right? On the bigger picture. Now, I'm going to come to the Aussie, the Euro Aussie a little later. Towards the end of this, I'm going to come back to this. You want to pay attention to what I'm going to speak about with the Euro Aussie trade prediction. But let's start off with Aussie CAD, right? Now, Aussie CAD traders, just like I said, we're going to trade this like we are a system, systematically, right? We want to trade it like a system. And what do systems do? Systems follow rules, and they don't break the rules, right? They follow the rules, they don't break it. Now, if I was a system trader, and I looked at the chart right here on the Aussie CAD, am I bullish or bearish? Go ahead and say that. Are you bullish or bearish? Well, as a system trader, I would be bearish. Why would that be bearish? Well, we are below our wave tunnel, and we're below a signal line right here. So because we're below those two, that indicates that we should be heading south. Now, there's one thing that I have to wait for in order for me to be able to say, yes, I am bearish. And that is the last and final thing, which has not happened yet. And if I zoom in a little bit right here, I'm looking for a bearish candle. At the moment right now, I still have a bullish candle right here. Now, today's trading has opened up. We can see a little bit of a hint of bearishness right there, but it's not closed out yet. So only at the end of the trading day, that's going to close tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will know for sure whether or not I've got a trade or not a trade. Now listen here, I have no doubt in my mind, if I go to the 1 hour time frame, it is bearish. But remember traders, the daily's got to lead. Alright, it's got to lead, because if the market turns around and goes back up here, and this was just a retracement for a move going up, then I'm going to be caught up in a sell and the market's going north, and I'm going to miss out on this big opportunity right here. So I want to wait for the proper confirmations. Right now, Aussie CAD says no. Now, I want to also go ahead and explain something to you as I go to the next currency pair, which is the New Zealand Canadian. And I want to explain to you how I combine fundamentals with technicals. Now, if you look at the New Zealand CAD, from a systematical, and I'm going to hide this because I don't want anyone to see any sort of other technical analysis, all right? I want to keep this as simple as possible. I don't want you to get confused by technical analysis. I just want you to look at price action. Now, if you look at price action, and I am using two indicators, all right, which is the red line and the blue line, to indicate whether or not the market's either bullish or bearish. Now, this is the deal. When the market trades between the red line and the red line, when it trades, so the red line and the blue line, when it trades in this area right here, what is that called? It's called my neutral zone. All right, that's my neutral zone. What does neutral zone mean? Neutral zone means that I'm not going to look for any long-term trading opportunity. In fact, I may even stand aside during that period. But if I get a short-term trading opportunity to trade between these levels, I may go ahead and do that. All right, I may go ahead and do that. But most of the time, I would want to go ahead and stand aside, because that is where the market's trying to hit resistance and turn around and head back in the direction of the trend, which is currently down. So New Zealand CAD is bearish. All right, that's one. Number two, we've just had the market go ahead and hit support right here, go up, test our signal line right here, but hasn't closed out with a bearish candle yet. It's still bullish, just like the New Zealand, the Aussie Canadian. So it's still bullish. So if you was a systematic trader, and remember, traders that follow systems, or systems follow rules, and if the rules say that you don't trade if the market's trading below this level, if you don't trade it without a bearish candle, then we don't trade without a bearish candle. And so far, there is no bearish candle. Check out the chart right here. No bearish candle right here. So the New Zealand CAD, we got to stand aside. Although it's tempting to want to get in on this, we've got to wait for the signal. Now, check this out. It's got a bullish candle. Now, listen here, traders. I know that traders are saying, well, big dog, you know what? You're forgetting that we got a beautiful evening star right here. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not forgetting that. All right? I'm not forgetting that we got it. I just have another rule in place that I have to have a bearish candle. All right? So I've got certain indicators that's inside the system that's giving me the color changes that you're seeing right here. All right? And so my system says to me, well, I'm still not bearish yet. All right? So this could be just a rally and a retracement, and price is going to come into the neutral zone. And if price moves into the neutral zone, guess what? I may find a short-term opportunity to trade between the neutral zone tops and bottoms. So I'm going to stand aside right now, right? Now let's go ahead and take, and this is pretty much what we've seen right now with the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals aren't really giving us a proper directional bias. And because they're not giving us a proper directional bias, we're pretty much going to go ahead and stand aside. By the way, I'm looking to see if my mic's on because I spent the last 45 minutes talking about the markets and doing this whole video. And guess what? My mic was off. So I'm like, damn, have I got my mic off again? All right, we're good now. Yeah, you can hear me, right? Yeah, you can, right? Okay, good. All right, so yeah, we're going back. So we're checking out the New Zealand CAD, and we said no New Zealand CAD trading opportunity. So we're going to go back to now the charts, and I'm going to look up another pair. Let's go to the pound Canadian. Now, I did speak about the pound Canadian, right? And I said, hey, listen here, pound Canadian may be setting up with a buying opportunity. And why is that? Why did I say look for a buy? Well, traders, just like I said earlier on, we are systematic traders, right? We trade based off rules. And the rule here was, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and compress it up a little bit more. Just go compress it up a little bit more. There we go. Get some lines here. Let's do a little bit more there. Oh, there we go. I want to get those pink arrows. All right, because that's going to change my colors. So, okay, so now what I've got right here is, check this out. Now, what did I say? I said that we don't want to trade in the neutral zone. We may stand aside. But I did say that there could be a possibility to trade between that level and this level. But what I need to see is the candle bullish in that neutral zone. If I get a bullish candle close out in the neutral zone, then I could see the market going back up north. Now, I'm going to be bullish on pound Canadian, all right, until this candle is, or the daily candle is bearish. Now, so far, it's still staying bullish. We're still holding above that support level right here. So I'm still going to stay bullish. Now, I know that if you go down to a 1 hour time frame, which I'm going to quickly pop it down to 1 hour right here. I'm going to take the technicals out here. And I'm going to look at this and I'm saying, I know, I get it. All right, I'm not blind. I can see it. We're all bearish right here, right? And we're now trading below the signal line as well as the wave tunnel. But notice, traders, notice one little small thing here. Notice how the signal line, which is the blue line right there, is still above the wave tunnel, which means, traders, that price can move back up again, keep the signal line above, and we could see this market moving north. So right now, I am still thinking bullish on pound Canadian. Now, this is the deal, all right, that I need to go ahead, and I actually forgot about this, so let me take a step back. When I spoke about the New Zealand, let's see here, New Zealand CAD. Let's go to New Zealand CAD right here. When I spoke about the New Zealand CAD, what I forgot to tell you is if you go to the 1 hour time frame, all right, and now you want to combine news with with technicals. If you take a look at the 1 hour right here, if price, now before I say anything about price, let's talk about this. If we have news coming out in a particular based off a particular currency, right? If we had news that's coming out like we have with the Canadian dollar. At the end of the week, we got the employment change and unemployment rate coming out for the Canadians. Now, if the news comes out at the end of the week, and we're looking at the technicals, and the technicals tell us that, and I'm going to go ahead and do a split screen right here now. The technicals say that we're at a support level here. If the market continues to trade here, and we get to Friday, and Friday the news comes out, before the news comes out, if I'm looking at this from a trading point of view, I'm thinking that price may be going ahead and moving back up north. All right, I'm going to think, because if I go ahead and bring in my my data right, or means my technicals right here, you can see here that I have wave 1, wave 3, and now we've got wave 4 testing wave 1 right here, which means technically we're expecting price to move. Now, if price goes with this and bounces and stays sideways here, then Friday news could be negative Canadian as it drives the New Zealand CAD bullish. But hold on a second here. If price does move back up based on technicals and it goes up here to my 5th wave, then Friday news comes out. What am I expecting? I'm expecting then the news is going to be positive Canadian. Why? because it's going to push the New Zealand Canadian bearish. All right. Now, I may not, we might not be right all the time. In fact, we may be wrong sometimes, where we anticipate one and it does the other. And we've done that already with non-farm payroll. We've looked at the data, looked at the technicals, and we're like, well, we're expecting based on what technicals are telling us that dollar should be weak or dollar should be strong. And it doesn't always happen that way, but it gives us a fairly good idea of exactly what we can expect. But this is the thing. When we're looking for when we're anticipating the news to move the markets in that direction, we don't react on the news. We react on the signals or the confirmation that the technicals are giving us. And that's important. Traders, you have to define that, because a lot of traders are so fixated on the news, and whatever the news says, they're just going to go ahead and trade it and forget all technicals. All right, you've got to say, I am a technical trader, and I'm based my decisions based on technical analysis. So when I look at this traders from a technical perspective, I'm thinking that price is going to start pushing back up. But if it stays here this week and Friday comes, and then I'm expecting price to move back up. Now, let's go ahead and throw this span in the works here, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the systematic approach to trading, right? So let's take all of this off the board right here. Let's go back to what we spoke about here on the New Zealand CAD. Remember, systematically, if you look at this, it says don't trade short or don't trade long right now. All right? Why does it say don't trade short? Well, we don't have a bearish candle. Why does it say don't trade long? Well, we're not above the signal line. All right? So basically, we're at a point where we don't really have a good, clear confirmation to trade it. So I'm going to stay on the sideline. Now, that goes the same way for the pound Canadian. Now, look at the pound Canadian right here. All right? The pound Canadian, are we seeing a candle close out bullish above my signal line? The answer to that is yes. So which means that we may have a short-term trading opportunity going long. That's exactly what I spoke about on Friday. I said, Friday, let's get into the pound Canadian. Let's look for a pound Canadian buy Friday because, well, in fact, you got the news after the close. So I said Sunday open, you may want to start looking to buy pound Canadian because of the way the market's set up right here. And I also spoke about the trading opportunity as to how we're going to manage the trade, right? If we put a stop below the daily signal right here, we're going to go ahead and keep our stop outs of the way. So if we put our stop below the daily signal, we're keeping our stop out the way. And if the market's going to really change direction, then clearly, traders, we're going to get stopped out. But guess what? If this daily closes out with a bearish candle, we'll probably get out before the market even hits our stop. So we'll have also good equity management on that. But then I said to you, go ahead and figure out if you are if you're a trader that likes to trade the lower time frames. I said if you trade the lower time frames, which is the 1 hour right here, and I said if you get in on the 1 hour, guess what? You're going to put a stop loss that's going to be pretty tight, all right? We said keep your stop below the low right here and look for the market to go up, and this is going to be the type of retracement. So I'm going to be watching very carefully. I've already got in on this trade. I'm going to look very carefully at the 1 hour. If the 1 hour shows anything bullish above my signal line, I'm going to get back in on this trade. Why? Because I'm a systematic trader. I'm trading based on my signals. My signal said the daily says buy buy inside the neutral zone because we closed out with a bullish candle on the daily, and then go down on the 1 hour time frame, and you can re-enter in the same direction if the 1 hour confirms the signal. Has the 1 hour confirmed the signal? No sirree. Has not confirmed it. What other signal can I use? Well, I can also go ahead and use I don't want to cancel that. I can also go ahead and use my SSL. My SSL has not confirmed, but you know what? Be honest with you, I'm probably not going to get an SSL confirmed bullish until it goes all the way up there. So there's so much more opportunity on the 1 hour time frame than there will be on my SSL. If I go ahead and take out this big bearish move right here, and it goes up here and closes up there with a big long line, I'm going to have a much better trading opportunity and trade entry point on my 1 hour time frame than I am on this SSL. All right, so that's cool. All right, so that's on pound Canadian. So that gives you some input. I'm still long on pound Canadian, and I'm looking to re-enter once the trade offers opportunity this week. Traders, there's some more pairs that I need to take a look at. And I'm going to go into the pound JPY. All right, pound JPY is very interesting for me right now because I'm still expecting some news out for the trade war. And based on the market set up how the market set up right now, again, let's think systematically, right? Systematically, and I've got to go ahead and compress the chart a little bit. And let's go ahead and expand it up again. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is the deal. If you take a look at the market setup right here, systematically, traders, we should be bearish. You see how the candle closed out bearish there below the signal line? So the daily time frame says let's sell. All right, daily time frame says let's sell. We're below it. We're below the signal line. We're below the wave tunnel. It says bearish. Now we've had a lot of indecision over the last few days. You take a look right here, 3 days in a row. We've had a lot of indecision. And that indecision has come just shy of that level there, which is old resistance now becoming support right here. So I'm expecting price to want to push back up if it doesn't trade below that level, right? I mean, that's clear. If it's showing indecision and the market pushes back up, I should be looking to trade it. Now, the daily says we should be selling. The deal here is that when we got the signal up here at the top, all right, that's pretty much where the big money is, right? The big money is when if you had sold over there at the top there, put your stop below above that level right there, we would be in a good position right now because we can allow the market to move before it gets to our break even. In fact, if we were feeling a little insecure in this trade, we could go ahead and move our stop loss to break even and say, well, if it's indecision right there and it's not going to break that low and it starts going back up again, I may go ahead and break even. And if it does break through that, then I'm looking pretty good with my stop here at break even, and I'm running with a free trade. So that's what happens if you get in. But for those that are trying to look for a trading opportunity right now, we don't really have a great entry point right here based on this daily, because the daily is down at support, and you don't want to go ahead and sell at support, right? We don't want to do that. So what we've got to do is we've got to go to the 1 hour, and we're going to look at the 1 hour right here. And anytime, traders, keep this in mind. Anytime that you go ahead and you trade a larger time frame, and you use the larger time frame to confirm the direction, but you missed the initial entry point and the market's moved a lot, instead of just jumping on a moving bus, what you may want to look for is something that can give you a much tighter stop, maybe shorter profits, because you are catching it at the end of a run or in the middle of the run, so you are opening yourself up to more risk on that trade. So if I look over here on the 1 hour right here, and I'm going to go ahead and compress my charts on this as well. The reason why I'm compressing, just so that you know, you see these arrows, I need them to go ahead and populate in the chart, because they're going to go ahead and change the colors that I need changed here. So there you go. All right, so now this is the deal. On the pound JPY, the trade opportunity is actually happening right here as we speak, because this signal has not, or at least this candle has not broken below that support line. Hasn't broken below the signal line yet. It's just about, all right? Now, my time right now is 6:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means that in the next 40 minutes, there's going to be a decision right here. Now, again, no one likes that indecision that we've got on the daily. This is what you've got to say to yourself. Am I willing to trade this based on those indecision candles on the daily? Because it looks like price is pretty much range bound. We're expecting maybe some good news out of, or some news at least, out of the trade war, all right? And with us expecting some news out of the trade war, could that possibly weaken the JPY and create some sort of upside move in pound JPY? Well, traders, that could absolutely always happen. I mean, that's a given, right? We can always see that happening. But the question here is, all right, are we going to see that happening this week? All right. Now, if you're not feeling comfortable with the fact that we've got these daily indecision candles right here, then clearly, traders, you need to stay on the sideline, right? Stay on the sideline. And I would be honest with you, it's to say that that would probably be a smart idea. All right. Now taking a look at the SSL. Look how flat the SSL is. It's like flat line down here. There's nothing happening. All right. Price is just not doing anything at the moment right now on the pound JPY. And I believe it may be due to Brexit and to trade war, right? Brexit and trade war is creating this thing. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go to the daily, the weekly. I'm going to go to the weekly. I'm going to compress the chart so we can see what's going on here with the larger picture. All right. So the larger picture tells me right here that we have hit, and this is good. All right. Now keep in mind that this is just the start of the week right here. We had a little bit of bearishness, so this could be just a retracement move going down, market going up a little higher, maybe going to go retest that resistance there, maybe come retest a downward trend line. So we may expect some price action to be bullish on pound JPY. What could this mean? This could be positive Brexit. This could be positive trade between US and China. They could drive the pound JPY to the upside. In fact, if you look at all the JPY crosses, if they're all setting up for a possible rally after a dip over the last week, then yes, we could possibly see some good news. And that's how I put the fundamentals and the technicals, together. You always take fundamentals and technicals and put them together and figure out, what is it really telling us, right? How do we digest this information, and how does it tell us which way the market's going to move? Well, that's where we are on that. Now, if I go to the lower time frame, then what I would do here is I would stand aside, and you can see right here, also on the 1 hour, you can see how the market's holding off its support right here. So we're not really breaking through. Check out, spiked down and hasn't broken through yet. So we could break back up again. Now, I would definitely not suggest you trade in this neutral zone on the 1 hour. You're going to have to wait until it breaks above the neutral zone. And if it breaks above the neutral zone, then you can go ahead and start looking to trade along. And also, if you want to really get some good confirmation, check out the daily. And if the daily is what you need as confirmation to drive the market in a direction, then maybe what you need is a nice bullish candle right here, all right? And then the 1 hour in the above the wave tunnel, and then you can go ahead and start trading back up to the top to retest that. And that level is priced at around about 135 to 136. So we could go all the way up to 135, 136, which is about, check that out, it's about 300 to 400 pips, right? That's 300 to 400 pips once the market confirms bullish here. And that would mean then this is then just a recovery move, and market's going to bounce off support and head back up north. I think wait a little bit longer on this. Give it some more time. Maybe we need to wait this week out and get the confirmation we need. Maybe the news isn't going to be quite that fantastic this weekend. It's just going to be one of those, golfing weekends or fishing weekends that we just got to, fishing weeks, not weekends, but fishing weeks and fishing and golfing weeks, right? That we don't do anything and we just wait for the market to confirm that. Let's keep the pound JPY, on our radar, and we'll watch it. All right. Now, finally, let's go take a look at Euro Aussie dollar. Now, I said Euro Aussie dollar is not dead. The prediction is not dead yet. I'm going to go ahead and put up my technical analysis right here. You can see, and let me be clear, all right? Let me be absolutely clear right here. The Euro Aussie is in a rising wedge. Now, even though the market's in a rising wedge, I still consider that to be some sort of consolidation, right? And even though it's because consolidation always goes to a point and then we have a breakout. Now, it could either be support and resistance and breaks out of support and resistance, or it goes into a wedge with support and resistance and breaks out in that direction. Now, if we take a look at this right here, we're still in this wedge, and I've got my wave sequence in here. I always put my wave sequence in. So the reason why I do that is because if it does break out south, I know where price is going to go to. And I always like to know where the turning point is going to be in the market. All right? So that's one. Two, right here, if you can take a look over here, we are still bullish on the candles. The candles are still bullish right there. You can see there. We're still bullish. Let me go ahead and give you a closer look. All right? There's still bullish candles right here. So I'm not going to do anything at this very moment right now. But I am going to be watching it very closely. And as soon as I get some bearish candles, as long as it's not right here at the support level, I'm going to look to sell this pair bearish. But right now, I have absolutely no intentions of buying it in, or buying or selling right now on the euro pound, or the euro Aussie, my bad. Now, let's go back to systematic, right? If we are a systematic trader, and we are going to trade based on rules, then what are the rules on this particular setup? Traders, the rules on this is that we should be buying. Let's just be real with each other, right? Take a look right here. Here's your signal line. Here is your wave tunnel. We're above both of those. It closed out with a bullish candle right here. There was the bullish candle close. This is just a retest of that. So price looks like it wants to go back up. And now, if it's going to go up here and head south, or it's going to go ahead and just retest and stay inside consolidation, the point is the signal says bullish. Now, I'm not a buyer into this signal saying bullish. I'm thinking more bearish, so that's why I'm standing aside and not doing anything. But the signals right now, if you want to grab any short-term profits and short-term trades, it would be bullish. Let's go to the 1 hour. Does the 1 hour also confirm that we should be bullish? Yes, it does. All right. The 1 hour says that this was a signal right here. As soon as price broke above, all right. As soon as price broke above right here, we should have been buying. All right. So this is a buy. And remember, the daily closed out bullish right here. Actually, in fact, I think the daily closed out bullish over here. So this is what the daily did. The daily went up like this, closed out bullish. This is the daily close right here. Then you saw price moving down and retesting that daily candle, right? This is the move right here. And this was the re-entry here on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, traders should be long. All right? Should be long. I'm not going to trade long. All right? I'm not going to trade long, but you should be long right now based on 44 pips profit right now. Your stop loss would have been about 40, maybe call it 55 pips short. So 55 pip stop, you would have been up maybe at that point there. Let's see here. If you got in here and you went up to a high, it would have been 51 pips. So you were about 51 pips up, and traders could go ahead and opt to move their stop to break even. But the point here is buyers should be in the market. All right, you should be a buyer. Price has now come back down a little bit, but it's a little sideways. But yeah, absolutely buy. Now, because I'm looking at the larger picture, because I'm looking at this right here, and I see this, all right? So this is not systematic. This is now me looking at the market saying, well, I'm at resistance right here. I'm not going to go ahead and want to buy this because I'm thinking about the market breaking through this wedge. If I can break through here, if I can get some bearish candlestick formation confirming that, I'm going to go ahead and head south. I don't want to go ahead and buy right now because I know that there's strong support here. And because I see this strong support become resistance, and because I see this big, large wedge right here, I'm going to rather stand aside until I get a breakout to the downside. Because I'm more interested in the big money right here than I am in the small money at the moment right now. On this particular currency period on its own. So traders, there are some great trading opportunities this week. Not a lot of movement that's expected out in the news. So we're not expecting very fast, aggressive moves in the market. But don't discount any sort of flash news, right? Any sort of news come out for Brexit and news come out for the trade war, that could definitely push the market in a direction. Because think about it, if you take a little look at the trading during the summer period, and you'll notice during the summer period that there was not a lot of fundamentals that came out on the calendar, but there were some flash news that came out based on Brexit, trade wars, all that good stuff that actually drove the market very fast in a direction. And never came back until after the summer period again, right? And then we started to see some recovery. So we could absolutely see a very similar week that we had in the summer, where if any news is going to come out that's going to be positive in a direction, positive trade war, positive Brexit, or negative Brexit, negative trade war, we definitely will see the markets react accordingly. The only news that I'm going to be taking a look at is the FOMC this week on Thursday, and then I'm going to the meeting minutes. And then, of course, the Canadian data on Friday that'll go ahead and set us up for the next week trading. So maybe we're not going to trade that day, but definitely it's going to set us for the next week of trading for the on the Canadian dollar. All right, traders. Well, that's it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you go ahead and do that. Also, make sure that you click the bell button, because anytime I post a video, you'll get notified exactly when that's been done. So with that being said, this is the weekly outlook, and hope you guys have a fantastic week of trading. And if you are in my trading room, I will see you on Wednesday. We don't have a trading room on Tuesday, but we'll see you on Wednesday as we go ahead and take a look at the market setups. All right, traders, well, that's it from me. This is FX Big Dog. Wishing you peace, joy, and successful trading. Until I see you next time, happy trading.